Hello and welcome back to LFC Transfer Room, and welcome back to your next dose of Euros content. Today we're going to be looking at the players from Liverpool who have been representing their countries at Euro 2020, getting through the group stage and getting through the round of 16. So first off, let's start with the players that are through to the quarterfinals. Now we start with Jordan Henderson, our captain and a lot of people's unofficial England captain. The work he's done behind the scenes as well as on the pitch for England speaks volumes of the character of the man, setting up the charity that helps the NHS staff throughout the pandemic, as well as performing on the pitch when he's called upon. Something that hasn't happened too much within this setup at the Euros, because he's currently come on as a substitute in 2 appearances against the Czech Republic and against Germany. Now he's come on both occasions to shore up the midfield, to make it more compact and to give it a bit more stability when the times are getting a little bit tricky. Having a goal disallowed against the Czech Republic is also something that has happened, but not something that, we want to write home about. I think within his role, he gets brought in to calm everyone down and allows the defence to have a little bit more pressure taken off them, as there's someone in front that can do the running as well as the defensive actions for England to go further into the tournament. I think you're going to need him a bit more involved, whether that's in a playing capacity or within the dressing room and the training ground. Next, we have Thiago Alcantara, another player who's been used quite sparingly by the national manager, Luis Enrique. I think within his role, it's similar to Jordan Henderson's, in which he's brought in to shore up the midfield, make it more compact, and to allow for the forwards to have a bit more license to move forward. He's brought in on the defensive side, and that's shown by his stat, which is 5 recoveries in the 46 minutes that he has played for Spain. I think moving forward, again, you need to involve him more. You need to start him to get the best out of him, because that's something that Spain have been doing. They've not looked the best that they can be in the start of games, and that's made more obvious in the game against Croatia, which ended up being a 5-3 victory for them. But they didn't look like they had any hold on the game until extra time. And bringing Thiago in solves that issue, and I think is something that Luis Enrique should be thinking about moving forward. Next of the players that got through from the round of 16, we have Xherdan Shaqiri, so important in the group stage, scoring 2 goals when his country needed him the most against Turkey, before then putting in a more quiet performance against France. Again, Switzerland beat France. That's unbelievable. Even if it was on penalties, they took France all the way and beat them, and that's something that's incredible, and Shaqiri and his team should be incredibly proud. Definitely one of the surprise packages from Euro 2020, and this is the first time that they've made it through a knockout round, which is phenomenal. Now we move on to the players who haven't been so lucky to get through the groups and through the round of 16. First, we look at Georginio Wijnaldum. Now, I know Liverpool haven't been using him in their social media posts, so it would assume that maybe we've cut that link, but he was so important for the Netherlands and got them through into the round of 16, which they came up short against the Czech Republic, and that is something that is going to be on a lot of those players' minds, and I think moving forward, as mentioned in the last video, Gini Wijnaldum's presence in that midfield will be missed if he does not feature for the Netherlands in their next tournament. Whether that's going to happen or not is completely out of the water now that De Boer has left his role, and that's something that it'll be good to keep an eye on as we move forward. Another player who was unfortunate not to get through is Diogo Jota, having a goal and assist to his name throughout the tournament in the game against Germany, is wrongly being scapegoated, in my opinion, by the Portuguese media as to being the reason that they haven't been able to make it through. I think you look on the other side, you look at Bernardo Silva and his involvement in the games, and it just wasn't enough. I think that was a problem with a lot of the Portuguese players. Of course, there was all this hype. Maybe they started to believe it themselves, and that's what caused a bit of sort of slip towards the way that they wanted to play. I think having him come back and recover properly from the injury he sustained just before international duty is going to be very important to us moving forward, and I think having a fresh Jota is going to be very, very good at the start of the next season. Looking at the Scottish team, it's hard to look past Andy Robertson. Plays with his heart on his sleeve and was a marauder of that left flank, constantly bombing up and down to make sure he had his defence covered, as well as transitioning from defence to attack to help the forward line have opportunities to score, as well as having an opportunity himself in the first game. Robertson needs the rest, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans will feel that way. playing almost non-stop throughout the past 2 seasons, having a bit of time to recover is something that we're very keen to see Robertson have, as much as I'm sure he is keen to see himself have. Next, we have the 2 boys from Wales, Nico Williams and Harry Wilson. Both endured not the best time against Denmark in the final game that they played at Euro 2020, with Harry Wilson getting sent off late on and Nico Williams having a clearance fall to the feet of a Danish player, and that ended up in the back of the net. I think both of these players will be looking to get first-team opportunities to develop their skills and develop their football moving forward, and I think that's something that we'll be paying a close eye to over this transfer window, and we'll keep you updated here on LFC Transfer Room. Make sure to let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the links here and down below. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you want. My name is Kurt, and you've been watching LFC Transfer Room.